Gavin Newsom, if you're listening to this, you're a failure. Mayors are actually some of the most powerful people in the country. The police are responsive to the mayor. The building code's responsible to the mayor. The homeless, mayors are very, very powerful. So he was mayor of San Francisco. Would you let your son walk the streets of San Francisco unaccompanied at 1 a.m.? No, you wouldn't. I'm sorry. Your son can't walk the streets of the city that you were in.
What happens when a smooth-talking politician strolls in with a Hollywood smile and runs headfirst into a human wrecking ball armed with a microphone? Gavin Newsom came with rehearsed charm, but Charlie Kirk came with facts loaded like ammunition, and he wasn't there to play nice.
Newsom. The hell?
Oh, no,
the hell is... who's a better actor? I'm not sure. They're both up for an award.
I was watching him on MSNBC. He's got a new hand motion. I was going to text him. It's this. It's got usually it's kind of this, and then he's doing this. He was doing this thing on MSNBC. He's doing this whole thing. Look, he is the fakest person I think I've ever met in my entire life. So synthetic, and honestly, that's very dangerous, incredibly dangerous. He's the type of person that could just stare at you oh yeah, I voted for Trump, and just pass a lie.
This wasn't just a debate. It was a California crime scene. Kirk took Newsom's carefully polished talking points and tore through them like a buzzsaw, leaving nothing but smoking ruins.
Right now should come out and be like, you know what? The young man who's about to win the state championship in the long jump in female sports, right. that shouldn't happen. You as the governor should step out and say no.
Newsom delivered glossy one-liners, hoping the crowd would eat it up. Kirk delivered brutal truths that cut deeper than any soundbite. Spoiler: the crowd wasn't clapping for the spin.
I mean, understand, being the inaugural guest, it wasn't really even sure what I was going into. Right, because at the front end, it was hey, there'll be no, gotcha questions. It'll just be a discussion, which was largely true. And secondly, when you arrive and they tell you all this stuff, they're oh, his son is a fan and all that. It was so over the top, charm offensive. I was are you gonna want to become a member of Turning Point?
One man defended a state once called paradise, but now drowning in chaos. The other rolled out a brutal bill of damages. And the list was long enough to make the room go silent.
Look, it was really interesting. It was obvious that the governor wants to move to the middle on a lot of the political issues that the Democrat Party has been on the unpopular side of. The one that's making most headlines, obviously, is biological men in women's sports. And he said he totally agrees with me, and that's a direct quote.
Were you surprised by that?
I was a little taken aback. I anticipated a little bit more of a politician answer. You could kind of see that laced in, but then he just bluntly said, look, I agree with you. It's about fairness.
Newsom tried to steer the conversation, but Kirk grabbed the wheel, flipped the map, and drove the debate straight through every failure in California's backyard.
In fact, we are course correcting after 4 failed years under Joe Biden and all of the woke stuff and the anti-common sense movement. Gavin Newsom had me on his podcast, and I was shocked all of a sudden where he decided to diverge away from the orthodox opinion in the Democrat Party, which is as simple as saying that it's not fair that a biological man can compete in female.
From sky-high taxes to tent cities and soaring crime rates, Kirk didn't just mention the problems. He hit each one like a hammer striking a bell. Newsom couldn't unhear it.
It's a really interesting interview. What it came off it was Charlie was trying to teach Gavin how to be a human being. Gavin came off like a Hollywood actor, somebody who is disconnected from regular people, and when he is around us, he has to kind of conform, like an alien almost. You're living over there on a whole different planet, and then you come down to this planet to do it with.
For every excuse Newsom lobbed, Kirk served back a counterpunch so clean you could practically hear the audience wince.
It's been a point of pride for you that you didn't do a 4-year degree. And
well, yeah, because I represent most of the country. You guys have become so college credentialed and educated that you guys snobbishly look on the muscular class of this country, the people that kept things afloat and running during COVID. Yeah, I mean, the majority of the country didn't go to Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Stanford, Caltech, or Cal Berkeley, right?
Are you arguing for the disestablishment, the end of higher education?
I think it's going to happen no matter what. Am I advocating for the end of the pursuit of learning?
By the halfway mark, Newsom wasn't debating. He was dancing, judging, backpedaling, searching for a way out that never came.
Does not listen, ever. maybe, is this the tipping point for him? Did you get the feeling he really wants to change?
I don't know. I think he wants to be president, Sean, more than anything else on the planet. I think you can agree he has more political ambition than almost anybody in the Democrat Party. And I think he understands that the entire country is moving center-right and is accelerating.
This wasn't a polite exchange. It was a public unmasking. And when the mask came off, so did the polished political persona.
Is that at a lot of these schools, they're not pursuing what is good, true, and beautiful. It's become the oppression Olympics and a weaponized complaint seminar of people sitting in the circle and finding out who's been offended the most that day.
Some would argue $1 million more in lifetime earnings, more likely to get married, less likely to get divorced, more likely to be civically engaged with college degrees. And you would say
all of those is true. It's just not everyone that.
The California dream Newsom kept bragging about. Kirk tore it apart and rebranded it as a cautionary tale in record time.
And I mean, same on my show. Anytime Gavin Newsom can come on the show. So, as from a presidential standpoint, I mean, Trump's going to be the nominee, so it's kind of just a waste of time. I do think it's actually healthy to have a conversation, though. And this is why I wish DeSantis would just, right now, see where he's at, drop out, become a great governor, and reassert that he's been a great governor and continue to be. I'll say nothing but positive things. But the national conversation is there are really two Americas being built right now. And California is a hellhole. It's a dystopia.
Sure, Newsom smiled for the cameras at first. But as the facts kept landing, that smile turned into the tight-lipped look of someone who knew the crowd had switched sides.
Guiding beliefs at all. Just leave the Democrat Party. That's my advice to him. If you really want to be in elected office that bad, just leave the Democrat Party and just go run as like a moderate Republican and just have some sort of like...
By the end, Kirk didn't just win. He dismantled the image, shattered the narrative, and left Newsom standing in the wreckage of his own talking points.